Good morning. My name is Lady Josephine. Some people call me Funke. And today is going to be the first edition. We'll be talking about women issues. I just want us to talk about, what causes abuse, domestic abuse in relationship and marriages. We want to talk about financial abuse, psychological abuse, anything that could cause abuse in relationship and marriages. And today, I have two special guests with me. On to my right hand side, I have Pastor Benga, all the way from North London.
You're welcome.
Pastor Benga is a well-known man, a man of honor, a man of integrity. And to my left, I've called Sister Vicky.
Hello.
My special and wonderful sister, all the way from Ghana. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. So I'll go back to Pastor Benga to introduce himself to us.
My name is Pastor Benga Olaiwole, the senior pastor of Believers Fellowship and Prayer Ministry, North London, precisely 421 Edgware Road, Colindale. And by the grace of God, I happen to be the chaplain of Nigeria High Commission here in London.
Wow.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And I'm back to Sister Vicky again. Sister Vicky, I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay. Right. I'm Vicky Newton Kume. I'm a Ghanaian, originally from Ghana. I'm a mother of 3 children and a lovely husband.
Wow.
My profession is in properties.
Wow.
And I'm very passionate about, women issues, especially domestic violence, because I've seen a lot of people in my community going through these issues as well. So it's a privilege to be on this platform to discuss, issues affecting, women in the society. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, so Pastor Benga, I just want to ask you, we've seen a lot of things happening in relationship and marriages, most especially about women. We've seen so many women comes out to complain, my husband is violent, my husband is this, my husband is that. And then I wondered what causes all these things. Is it that they never prayed before they get together as husband and wife? Or because I know most people go to their pastor to pray for them. The pastor, this is who I want to get married to, this is my husband. But recently, we've been having financial issues. My husband has been abusive, this and that. I would just like to ask you, when they come to you as a pastor, what kind of advice do you give to them?
Thank you very much. I want us to go back to the foundation of the relationship. See, the most important thing we need to talk about is about the foundation. Then we go into the relationship itself. You see, the Bible stated clearly that if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? Even though the righteous can still pray. That is, if the righteous decide to maintain and believe in the real maker of marriage. Now, when you get to the relationship in itself, so many things can cause abuse. Change in the environment, just like from the African black minority, we tend to believe that the men are the head of the family, in quotes, head in everything. And if we are not careful, we tend to forget about the changing environment where you have to try to accommodate and adapt to what is happening. For example, in Africa, I'm in Nigeria, we believe that our own parents, the father and the mother, the father goes to work to bring food home, while the mother is in the house cooking, doing the cooking, doing all stuff. But in this part of the world, taking from example myself, my wife sometimes goes for night work. I would not expect her to come back in the morning to cook for me. So if my perspective or where I'm coming from have not been changed, then there's going to be a problem in the house.
Sure.
And if this is not properly handled, there will be a lot of abuse. Because the pain could develop into anger. And now, what happened is I will now begin to pour the anger on her. And again, what we should understand is the issue might not be, we might not streamline it to only the women or the ladies or the female whatsoever. If a man is not responsible in the house, there could be a problem.
Sure.
These are where the abuse starts from. Whether your wife earns more money than you, you must try to be responsible. Even though the Bible clearly stated that the man is the head of the family. Let your wife see that you are coming to contribute into it. And originally, women are not supposed to do everything. They are just to come and help us. They are the helpmates.
Thank you, Pastor.
A woman must meet a man doing something. So you are coming in to come and help. So the problem now comes, I'm talking about what could have resulted into abuse. If you have an agenda before marrying a man, maybe the man earns good money, £6,000 per week. The moment that money stops flowing, there's going to be a problem. Because the interests of the purpose why you enter into that marriage have been aborted.
Yeah.
So these are what can actually cause abuse in relationship and other more.
Thank you, Pastor.
You're welcome.
I'll come back to you. And Sister Vicky, you mentioned earlier that you've got 3 kids. How old are they?
The oldest is 15, and
Wow.
a girl, and the second is 13, a girl, and the last is a boy, 10 years old.
Wow. How long have you been married?
For 16 years.
16 good years. Wow. So can you share a little bit of your experience of 16 years being in marriage with us? And I just want to ask that for the last 16 years, and I want you to be honest.
Yes.
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
No.
Has there ever been one time that your husband has tried to eat you for once?
Never. Never. To be very honest, I see myself to be very privileged to have such a lovely person, to share my life with.
Oh, that's good.
From day one that we met till date, he has never changed. Never changed. So every day I keep, thanking God for bringing such a person into my life. He respects me, he adores me. But I must admit that sometimes he would tell me, I'm the type of person sometimes I get carried away with some decisions that I make.
That's
and
women.
He's the one, exactly, and he's the one who will be sitting at the back and telling you that, you are going towards the right. Can you shift a little bit to the left? That kind of thing. And it's like, I feel that, going to the right
is the right
that kind of thing. So he sometimes will tell me that I'm a very naughty person. I'm a stubborn person. So with that's the only problem sometimes we have. He feels, when I have, I'm motivated to do something, to me, I feel I'm going the right way. But he might feel that I have to be relaxed, think twice about it. And, if I don't do it in the way he wants it to be, he will go like, you are a very stubborn lady. But at the end of the day, I get to, listen to him. And,
being a Ghanaian, I'm from Nigeria,
yeah.
I'm from Africa.
Yeah.
Then we always believe that every African man loves to be respected.
Exactly.
And which is right.
Yes.
Every man has to be respected. So, anytime that you've got your ups and downs in your marriages, how do you cope? Who say sorry first?
To be very honest with you, like I said, sometimes I'm stubborn. So I think he's the one who usually will prompt and say, you know what, you stubborn lady. Then, that kind of thing. Then I'll realize and, apologize. But most of the time, I think he's very patient with me. So, we coordinate with each other. I know my negatives and he knows his negatives. I know his strength, he knows my strength. But I believe that when there's an issue, most of the time we call something silent treatment, everybody's quiet.
Yeah.
But it's just for a short time. Then, everybody, sit down and everybody comes on board. This is the reason why I became withdrawn. This is the reason why I've been very quiet. Then, it doesn't escalate to exchange of words or anything like that, honestly.
So, if I may ask you again, how do you deal with money issues in your family?
Money issues, because he's the breadwinner of the family, most of the things he does and I support. So when it comes to money issues, he's very open. He can even give me his bank card to, take money to buy whatever I want to buy at a certain point in time. So we've never had any money issues. The only thing is that sometimes he'll have to prompt me not to go beyond my budget. Yes, so I don't really have any issue at all, because he started by being very open with what he has in his account, giving me his card. The first day he gave me his card was when I think I lost my job and I needed to buy certain things for myself. So he said, you know what, just take the card, I'm going to work. Go to the shop, buy what you need for yourself. And I was like, what if when I go, you know, I check his balance and I realize there's a lot of money. I get carried away to buy
and
whatever,
overspent,
you know. So I'll start having some ideas. Oh, darling, I need to purchase this. Darling, I need to purchase that kind of thing. But probably I think he's seen me as a person who is always content with what she has. I don't want to go overboard. I always think about the family. I always think about the children. Yeah. So probably he saw that trait in me and realized even if I give her this lady will not go beyond what she really needs. So from that point, you know, I came to realize that wow, he's one in a million. To be that open about this whole issue. So when it comes to money, no issue at all. And I know couples who have issues with money. Money can cause divorce. Yeah. You know, money can create a lot of problems.
You're right.
Fortunately for me, I think I've never had this issue with money.
Thank you so much. And Pastor, I'm going to come back to you again.
Yes, please.
I was just asking Sister Vicky.
Yes, I was following up. I was following that.
And I'm going to ask you now. We both know this country where we are.
Yes, please.
That we have to work.
Yes, please.
And at times, the man working alone is not enough to foot the bill in the house. But in some cases, we have, you know, there are women that are earning more than their wives.
A lot, yeah.
And this has caused a lot of problems in marriages. And, you know, some women goes to work 24 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Their husband still goes to work 12 hours a day, neglecting the kids. Yeah. The kids are brought up by social work. I mean, by what do they call them? Child minders.
Child minders. Yeah.
So in these cases, I've seen most women say to me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't come here to sell granules. If he works 12 hours, I have to work 12 hours."
Yeah. Well, if I may chip in, I think you are one out of 1,000.
Oh, wow.
And you said something that I appreciated so much, that you are favored. And I want to believe that God has helped you to tame your tongue. Because what actually causes this issue of domestic violence or whatever violence, the Bible makes us to understand that life and death lies in the power of tongue. If I'm being sincere now. Men, we have this ego because we are more like a king. And a king always loves people to worship him. If a woman has that knowledge of, this is my Lord, this is my husband, I need to worship, because there's always an issue when it comes to Bible, that the Bible says women submit to your husband. And when you are deliberating that, you say, tell him to love me. You know, but the most important thing is everybody must be liable to his or her own responsibility. If you're a woman, be ready to be submissive.
Of course.
Leave the issue of the man. He has his own responsibilities to love you. But don't wait for the man to love you before you submit. Men, we can be very foolish, very stupid if a woman worships us. I'm talking by the grace of God, I got married in the year 2001. And by the grace of God, I was sharing with you some few minutes ago, that my wife, she's the one that talks. She can disgrace me in the church. She can, if I told you of a scenario that happened, and I love it so much. That's the best way. She actually wanted to manage her own self. We got to the church separately, and after the service, she said, "Your pastor have not spoken to me today." I was so ashamed. And somebody that, you know, asked this big man, say, "Pastor, is it true?" I say, and I say, the people I cancel, now they are canceling me, but I love it. You see, we need to understand that what keeps marriage or relationship is how we use our tongue.
That's true.
So if we manage that tongue very well, I'm telling you, things will work. And the next thing we should understand is that a man must understand that he must be responsible from the setting of God when it comes to marriage. He said, "I will make you an helpmate." That's to say, a woman must not have anything to come and give to you. She must come and support what you already have. So now, if that is not done, if you enter into a marriage where the woman is a breadwinner from day one, what do you expect? I've counseled people that you see eventually they walk out of the marriage. I don't like the way my in-laws are treating me, but you saw it before you enter. I am not saying I started from nothing when I married my wife, but we grew together. And when I started earning, I have to support. You need to understand that you have to be responsible. Even spiritually, when you are not responsible, if your wife has taken over your crown, then you become the woman in the house.
Sure.
So this is where the problem comes. We need to understand that I am the man in the house. I need to be responsible. Then you need to, there must be what we call, there should be communication. If
close communication.
You must communicate with your wife that, darling, it's like I'm not any much, my job is not this, but let your wife understand. You women, they are very good people. When they have the understanding that you carry them along, they can go extra mile. Give a woman £10, she's going to make you food of £20.
Sure.
So they are very good and meticulous when it comes to that. So communication is important. And I want to tell everybody to be zero tolerance when it comes to domestic violence. We might not talk about, you can't just come to the church and say, how many of you has your husband slapped today? You wouldn't like to do that.
Yeah.
But then we need to encourage people to talk. If a man should beat you once and you keep quiet, it's going to continue. So we need to look for a medium.
We need people to speak up.
You just have to speak up. You need to look for somebody you need to talk to.
Sorry, I'm quickly going to chip in, Pastor.
Go ahead,
you said something that a woman that we are meant to support.
Yes, that's what the Bible says.
If you're talking about support,
yes.
I want you to clarify support so we can all understand. I'm sorry, hold on, Pastor.
Yes.
I want you to clarify the support. If we're talking about support, are we talking about financial support, or are you saying that when a woman comes in the marriage, are they not meant to work, or they are meant to be working? Support, it's in different ways.
Yeah.
So what kind of a support are you talking about?
Thank you very much. You see, I'm so sorry, I want to be a bit spiritual now. Then come into the physical. We need to understand what is relationship all about.
Yeah.
God stated clearly, saying, let us make man in our own image. God actually wanted to fellowship with human being. In the course of that, he now said, okay, it's not good for this man to be alone. Let me find him an helpmate, somebody that will come and help him, somebody that will come and support him. Because God already created Adam, that is man, and he delegated him, take care of this place. So when the woman is coming to help you. Okay, it's like if I have a garden now, I'm planting, I can call my wife, please get me water to water this garden.
Yeah.
And if you have a wife that has good job, fantastic job, you should not totally depend on her. She can support, especially in this part of the world that we are. You can sit down together, okay, how do we do this? These are the rent, these are the bill. Don't impose anything on her. Let her come out and tell you, this is what I want to do. And that makes her happy. You understand? Not that you say, you are earning £2,000, I'm earning just 1,000. You are going to food women are very interesting. If you throw everything to him that, honey, I have just £1,000 and you have 2,000. I am 100% sure that woman will go extra mile. If you now want to finish the woman, give her your £1,000. I know people that are doing it. Just give the £1,000 to her. Tell her to manage it. You will always have savings. You will always have savings.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yes.
And Sister Vicky, I want to ask you, let me say your bill. How do you share your bill at home? Who takes the larger part? Is it you or your husband?
My husband takes the larger part.
Like
the nice support.
70 to 30 or 60 to 40?
No, 70 to 30.
70 to 30,
yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So, how do you feel about that? Do you feel good?
Great. I feel good. It makes things easier for me so that I don't have to stress myself, so that, when you're working, you'll be comfortable working part-time so that you can have more time with the children. Because if the man is the head of the family, bringing in 70% of his income to help, then, I would rather concentrate on working less and spending more time with the children, picking the children up, anything that's got to do with, being there for the children. When he's home, he will also try and help the children with their homework, but I know that most of the time it's me and the children, but we all understand each other. I made the children aware that, Daddy is the one who buys this, pays this, does that, that. So daddy is most of the time out of the house. But whenever he's able to, he will try and probably take you to extra tuition, football lessons. But they shouldn't see it as, because when children go for these extra activities, go for parents' evening and all these things, and their dads are not there, they start asking questions. They have funny ideas.
Yeah.
So it's left with us as women or wives to educate the children, tell them that, look, the reason why you don't see dad more often at home is because he has to work longer hours to make our life comfortable.
That's good.
So when he's around, then, you know, he'll be able to, because I remember my children asked, why is daddy always out working out? I said, you know what, he's out working to make you comfortable. You need the trainers. That's it.
Thank you.
Anything that you need. That's it.
And, you know, I want you to be honest with me again. We both know women. When we have £10, we don't have money.
We don't have money, it's true.
Yeah, very correct.
So out of that 70%,
very correct.
do you get to keep a little for yourself?
Of course, yes.
Thank you for being honest.
I'm being honest.
Because I know most women are not honest
yeah.
about this issue.
I'm being very,
like
very
my
honest,
partner,
yeah.
if I need £100, I tell my partner I need £200. Because I know men, they have a way of cutting everything you ask them, because they believe you've already added to it. And for a woman, it's very wise of us to put something aside because of raining days.
It's a normal culture of women that they believe even if they earn more than you, you still have to keep them.
Sure.
And it's good. It makes a man, you see, there's a spiritual blessing to a responsible man. When you are responsible. You see, I tell when I counsel women, I told them, if your husband is not responsible, the crown in his head will be transferred to you. Because God is not an author of confusion.
Okay then, Pastor, I'm going to put this to you straight.
Go ahead, please.
As a pastor now,
yes, please.
I worked in your church, or probably I've been attending your church for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I brought my husband to you.
Okay.
We are both not working.
Okay.
We are in love.
Okay.
We want to get married.
Okay.
And we come to you, the pastor.
You want to get married?
This is the man I want to get married to. We are planning to get married in the next 6 months.
Okay.
And
we are both jobless.
We are both jobless.
Okay.
Would you advise us
to go ahead?
To go ahead. Even
married.
when you prayed about it and you know we are right for each other.
Okay.
Would you advise me or us to go ahead with this marriage?
You see, the question is divided into two.
Yeah.
And I have to be sincere with you. When it comes to the issue of fornication, when both of you believe you are ripe to get married, and you don't want to fornicate according to the standard of God, instead of me telling you not to get married, I will not do that. But I'm going to tell you the reason why. You see, for the cause of fornication, there's something that the Bible, certify. That is introduction, paying of dowry. But we tend to mix everything together, that going to the church, elaborated wedding is what the Bible is saying. No. Okay. So what I will advise both of you is that I want to tell you sincerely that you people are not ready for marriage.
Okay.
Because there's no way you can survive.
Yeah.
Because it's been difficult for, maybe the church are even the one helping both of them.
Yeah.
It's been difficult for both of you to feed yourself. So you want to bring in another generation, you are like a murderer. So you let them understand the truth. You just don't tell them outright that you can't get married. You need to explain the good, the bad, and the ugly of what they are going to.
About to do.
Don't you people, I think people should put more effort to get a job. But if they say, Pastor, I don't think we are trying, but we don't want to fornicate, we have been cutting for the past 4 years, it's possible there are instances like that. You can advise them. Based on the fact that you don't want them to do any sex act of marriage. You understand what I'm saying now? They can go and meet parents, what we call introduction. I've seen people that did their introduction.
What about in the case that they've been doing it?
Then why are they wasting their time coming to me, Pastor? They are married already. That is what I was telling my sister that time. That so many marriages were not.
You get what I mean? In the case they've been doing it, Pastor.
Yes.
Okay, hold on, Pastor. They've been doing it.
Yes.
And now they want to get married.
They're already married.
So why you say they should come to you? They are coming.
They don't have to.
No. But it's official. Just come to you for official.
Okay. Do you want me to be practical now?
Yes.
Now,
Thank you.
thank you. You see, that's why I was telling my sister before the program, that most of the marriages are not being joined by God. But we deceive ourselves that what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. God never joined any marriage together. But we are saying put asunder. If you are already having sex, there's a relationship, there's already marriage. So why are you coming to the pastor to come and deceive the pastor, and you think you can deceive God? So the foundation is already faulty.
But they need your blessing
Pastor,
to make it official.
Thank you, Sister Vicky. Whereabouts in the case that we both prayed about it, you get what I mean? And we know that we are for each other. We've been doing it and we want to make it official. And like I said, we are both not working. The reason why I'm saying this, because we know the financial
commitment.
Commitment is going, and this can lead to abuse. You get what I mean? Because these are two people getting into marriage and they are not working.
To me, I'll say no.
So that you didn't allow me to, you cut me off.
Sorry,
I'm talking.
You cut me off. Because you see, the truth is, some people are so they are not privileged to have the kind of opportunity I do have. I married my wife when I was already a minister of God. So there are standards to when you want to marry. I already started reading my Bible. There are no sex before marriage.
And Pastor, I'm sorry, you said no. You know, how do I put it in a feminine way? Like, okay, let me just use what you said. No no before marriage. So, Pastor, are you telling us that your wife, nothing happened before marriage?
Nothing, because I live in the church. I live in the church. She married me in the church. We have our first child in the church. So that's why I say I don't condemn people, but we need to tell people the truth. Our parents, when they get married, by the time they get inside and they come out and they discover that they are not virgin, they say they have let down their family. But because we are in the contemporary world where people are not telling people the importance of all this again.
May I please chip this in?
Yeah.
Let me finish what I wanted to finish. So where I'm going is that if as a pastor, I already know that both of you are sleeping together, I will tell you the truth. That you see, you have already got yourself into marriage. This is where I'm coming from. That does not stop me from doing, you want to elaborate, you want to do wedding. But what I'm saying is that the foundation is already faulty.
The foundation is faulty, Pastor. I agree. But like Walter said, is that they are not working and they want to get married. Would you advise them to go ahead?
I will not. What I'm saying.
I will not advise them.
Thank you.
I will not advise them.
I
will not advise them.
You say no. So why will you say no to them?
I will not advise them.
Because to be very honest, if you want to come together as husband and wife, definitely you will not sit down for manna to come from heaven.
I will not advise them.
You're going to move into an apartment. You need to pay bills. You need to eat.
Okay, so what about in the case that the man is the one working alone? Would you still advise them to go ahead with the marriage?
Of course, yes.
When I married my wife, I was not working. I was in the church, and I was the evangelist in the church. And from where I started from, they believe if God has called you, we pay you. You understand? And I thank God because it makes me to be totally dependent on God, and it's still helping me now. Even though then it was like a punishment. And my wife will come with her salary, she will drop it on the table, we take the tithe. And see today, God has so much blessed the family. She's a senior manager, and I'm a pastor to the glory of God.
Hallelujah.
And I have a lot of pastors.
So you are one in a million. You are one in 1,000. You are one in a million.
You understand? So we started from the first thing we had in the house was ordinary rug. Then the next thing was a fetish chair. Well, look at what God has done today. So if there is understanding, I tell people love does not hold marriage. What holds marriage is understanding. I have seen people that divorce their husband, and when they meet at a function, say, I still like Ojo, but I can't live with him. Because there's no understanding.
Between them.
What is holding relationship is not actually love, but understanding.
It's true.
So when there's understanding, then agree. Love comes with.
No,
if you don't agree, you can.
I totally agree with you, Andres, because you also have to touch on one of the main reasons, for confusion between couples. Money.
Yes, we cannot underestimate
so
that.
So if they are not working, just imagine.
So
within a short period of time.
Do you also agree with Pastor that if the man is working, they can both go into
They
the
can
marriage?
manage, yes, of course.
Do you, do you
Then
believe
as a-
so? Or
But the thing is that, you see, most of the time, when the man is in full control
of the house,
the woman sometimes wants to have her own independence, cannot do that because she's depending on the man solely.
every time.
Now, if I want to go and buy some
I have
nice
to call
clothes,
for my wife, for my husband.
nice clothes, I've seen this, you know, shoe that I love, and I tell my husband, darling, can you give me £200? I want to go and buy, you know, upgrade my wardrobe. He's going to scrutinize. Oh, why this? Just shoe for how much? £50? No, 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 no. This, that. Take that one out.
She will want that
You know
freedom.
what I'm saying? Because he's the one in control.
Yeah.
He's the one giving you the money.
Okay.
He wants to be sure. He wants to be sure that amount of money that he's giving to you will be used. But he's not saying from your point of view. You are giving yourself a treat.
okay, thank you so much, Sister Vicky and Pastor. But in some cases, I've seen where about the man was the one working alone and they went tired with the marriage. Then 6 months after the marriage, the husband lost his job.
Okay.
The wife is expecting a baby. And after they had the baby, they couldn't hold the marriage anymore. They all
you
went
see,
their
it's
separate
money.
ways after another 6 months.
Okay.
And based on the reason why, because the man lost his job and couldn't find any other job
Okay.
for the next 1 year. But to me, I would agree that both are working
Okay. Before
they
they get
enter
married.
the marriage.
How about
Because,
if both
you know,
lost their job?
Thank you, sir.
What happened? If both
Pastor,
lost their
if
job?
both lost their job,
Okay.
believe me, if 2 people are working, you have to save.
Well, you have your few.
You have to save something because anything can happen.
So what if the man is the main breadwinner? He can also save, isn't it?
yeah, depending. The man can also save. Don't get me wrong. You know, when they get married, they're just 2 people.
Yeah.
But they will start producing kids.
Can I chip
And
in?
the moment children are coming in, kids are coming in,
Can I chip
the
in?
money will not be enough anymore. You know that.
Can I chip in something?
Yes, Pastor, you can.
It could be vice versa. Just like what I've said. You see, marriage or relationship comes with understanding. If I'm married to a woman that is working, or the woman in question, she's the one that have the job, and both of you have agreed to marry, and you sit down, you analyze, this is what is happening. The man too is not going to fold his hand. Maybe he's been going for a series of interviews with full expectation and very massive hope, and they think time is going, and they're thinking of not risking maybe another year. They might be careful, they might be mindful of fornication. We don't want to fornicate, but the lady is comfortable, the house is there. You know, what will stop that marriage is the ego of the man.
Yeah.
So we need to be sincere. Things like this are actually happening. I've seen a man that married to a lady, and the parent of the lady said, you have to move to our house. And the man agreed, and they are still living very happily. But so many people might not say, I can't go to my in-laws' house and live. It depends on understanding. And that's why when you are going to any marriage, a third party must be excluded. Because what I agreed, what I might take, you might not be able to take it.
Sure.
Some men will say, lie, forever and ever, I can never live in my in-laws' house. If I don't have money, I have heard of a man that said, until when he becomes a millionaire, he will not get married. And up to now, he's not yet a millionaire.
Pastor, you said something earlier on, the women are meant to support men. And if I get into a marriage and I'm not doing anything, how do I support him? Do I support him only by praying alone, putting food on the table, you know, making sure the house is clean? So now if you're talking about support, I want you to, you know, speak more on that kind of support you're talking about. Because for me to support my husband, there has to be something I'm doing. And it has to be more than just putting food on the table. Just cleaning the house.
You know, what we are thinking about is what causes abuse.
Yeah.
If my expectation concerning my wife is not being met, there will be a problem. Expectation might not be financial expectation.
I believe we all have duties
That's
in
what I'm
this
saying.
thing called marriage.
That's what I'm saying. So it might not really necessarily be financial support. It could be psychological support. When your husband comes back from work, you are not working, but you are doing so many things. Honey, what happened? Your face is... He actually needed somebody to talk to. You understand what I'm saying? And you're always there for him. I know something is wrong with my husband today. Have you eaten? You've cooked food for the young man before he comes back from work. You're already thinking about, how was your work today? Hope everything went. It's not as if you actually wanted to fold your hand. You have not agreed that you are not going to work. You are still looking for a job. He can see that in you, that my wife is striving to get a job. You know, that's where communication is very important. That you need to come and support me does not mean you have to come and die for me. So there must be understanding. When I'm coming back from work and all you do is we watch Nollywood, and even when I'm coming down, you don't care. I say hello. You are not even. You are so concentrating.
Not just Nollywood, Telemundo.
Telemundo. You know. You understand what I'm saying? So this support could be emotional support. This support could be psychological support. Sometimes ago, let me just give you this. This personal to me. One day, my wife told me, "You are not always there." I said, but I'm giving you money. I'm giving. He said, "No." She explained, "Not always there," and I. You know, that is communication. Because I was so angry. What again does she want me to do? You understand? But she made me to understand that it's more than giving money. It's from her mouth that I learned that it's not all money that makes women happy. So if she did not open up, she's going through some torture. She might not be going through financial torture, or she might be going through emotional torture. And that is what results into abuse. These are some of the things we are talking about. So support from a woman to a man, not necessarily be giving me your money.
Okay, Sister Josephine,
yes.
I just want us to go back to the grassroots. From the foundation. Abuse.
Abuse, yeah.
Some people, a man or a woman, usually a lot of women are victims. We have to
we agree
on that.
Now, according to the statistics.
We have to look at the foundation.
That's what I said.
Some men, the reason why they abuse their wives is because they witness their moms and dad
beat their own mother.
Their dad beating their moms. So they grew up with that. So their perception about women
is that they have to be beaten.
Exactly. To be beaten, to be corrected.
Do you get what I'm saying? And what I've also noticed in the African community, when a woman is, experiencing abuse in the marriage, she goes first point of call. Maybe speak to your mom and dad about it. That my husband, this is what he's been doing to me. You realize I've been seeing it in Nollywood movies, which is real life stories, where the mom or the dad will say that, oh, why you go, but he will change. He will change. You could see the woman's face is swollen.
They force her back.
Then they force her back. Probably the man is taking good care of your family. He's
so
bought them.
They are not seeing what you are going through.
That's what I'm saying. So you go back with the pain. Then when you go back, the man will also say, your husband
Which
will say.
Which is why I asked Pastor again, do you think the woman should not work? Because most times, most families used to tell their daughter to go back because they know that their daughter, she's dependent on the husband. Because in a case whereby you are independent, you're working, at that moment you can still run, you can still take time off, and without you calling your husband to ask for money.
There are two things
which
now.
Is why I asked the question from Pastor that. Which is why I asked him, do you agree that the man should marry a woman that's not working? Because if the woman is not working, believe me, she will always go back to this man for support. And before you know it, it's going to escalate more than
but
this.
Just when you showed, at this present age, most women are working.
That's it.
Most women, even to the extent that women are earning more than men.
That is why I said
it's a trend.
That's why I said it's not about whether the woman is working or not working. It's about cultural assimilation, just like what you have said. And that's why we need to orientate our people. I have said it, everybody must get to a level of zero tolerance to violence. When your husband raises his hand to beat you, try everything humanly possible not to allow it to happen. If you need to go on your knee and beg, please, honey, don't beat me, don't start this. But if it does happen, please don't keep quiet, because it will beat you again. So we need to understand it's not whether the woman is working or the woman is not working. The problem is people from Africa, we believe that when you bring your husband home, and it's like, don't come back here no matter what happened to you. And it's a stigma.
But Pastor, you should also realize that, especially in the African community, when you say you are coming out of your marriage because of abuse, people don't believe you.
But
then also, people will blame you for the marriage breakdown. It's like you failed.
Can I ask you one question?
Looking at people always want to satisfy.
Can I ask you one question? Do you prefer to die in it, or
you don't prefer to die in it,
That
but
is
you are
why.
thinking of the outside world, from the church, from the community.
And that's
What
what,
are people going to say?
that's why we are in this program,
Yes,
to
that's
let
right.
people understand.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to quickly chip in because I've seen most mothers say to their daughter, you know what, your dad did the same,
Yeah.
and I'm still there today.
What?
There is this Yoruba proverb that they used to say, "Loforiti," means go and endure.
Yeah, endure, keep on enduring.
really?
Yeah.
That go and endure. That your dad did the same thing to me. I end up
You
having
survived.
5 of you. I'm still there. But thank God they survived.
Yes.
Some people did not have the chance
To survive. And that's why we need to talk. We need
So,
to
which
speak.
is why I said, number one, financial aspects in a relationship has to be
So that
number
you
one
can
thing.
do things for
It has to be
yourself.
very, very important,
Very
Pastor.
important, yeah.
Because with that, you can make your own decisions.
It is true.
With that, you can run far away.
It's true.
If you are with no money, you are
Depending
as
on
far
him,
as there's
then,
nothing you
yeah.
can do, Pastor. Because you can't even feed yourself. You cannot go out without asking your husband for transport money.
Exactly.
So what do you want to do without that? Which is why I would not agree any woman should go into a marriage without having something to support the husband
Support the
financially.
husband, yeah.
And let's think about this way. What about in the case that the husband is a breadwinner of his own family? If you are not working,
Yeah.
most of the things it does for his own family, he won't be able to do that again. Because you are not working,
true.
you have joined this family. And before you know it, after 1 year, you started bringing the kids in.
I think
He wouldn't be able to help his own family again. And which is why I said if a woman is working and the man is working, we will both be able to help our family without me coming to you, oh, hi honey, I need something for my dad. Without you coming to me, hi baby, can you just give me a little thing, I need
But
something
we don't
for my
have to
mom.
generalize it in the sense that there are some women, for probably maybe they have some health issues, a few of them, health issues. So don't let us generalize it.
That's what I'm trying to
and
say.
because of that, they are not in the position to work.
That's what I'm trying
So
to say.
such women, would they be very vulnerable? Because due to health reasons, they cannot.
So which is why I said something, Pastor. The thing I believe this is that most people have been so selfish in love. We've been so selfish in love because we don't even think about the future.
That is the
What we are thinking right at the moment is, oh, I love her, I can't let her go. I love him, I can't let him go. But loving him and loving her, is it enough to create a future together?
That's why we need to advise and educate the viewer and people that are coming into it. You need to be ready for what you want to enter. And there must be proper understanding. You see, maybe it's because I'm a pastor. I don't want to agree with the fact that a woman must be working before you get married to your husband.
Okay.
Because that a man must be, if one of the parties...
Sorry, can I ask, Pastor, how long have you been married?
I married 2001.
Oh.
That's about minus 2001 from 2019.
18 years ago.
That's 18 years
Pastor,
ago.
you were talking about 18 years ago.
Yes.
Things
by
are
the grace of
different
God.
back then. But not in
That is what I'm saying. A lot of women are working.
No, I'm not in the opinion that both parties must not work.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that there are 1 out of 1,000 that we could exclude. Normally, when two people are coming together, there are two abnormal human beings coming together. Just take it or leave it. Coming together to journey together. So there must be understanding, financial understanding, and that's the essence why we tell people to come for counseling.
Yeah.
Some people, they will not, you pick her from another church. She's a choir mistress there. When you get married, you want her to follow you to your church. She might not find it easy.
Exactly.
So there must be understanding before you go into it. What makes marriages fail either now and then is because there was no proper understanding. It's not, you see, we need to use ourselves. When my wife was coming to marry me, she already knew that I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
She knew where I was living. She's from a very wealthy family. She has an option either to go with me or to stay out. And I thank God she made the best
Did
decision.
the family say that because she's marrying, excuse me,
A lot of,
someone
yeah,
who's
a
not
lot of,
wealthy? Was there any
90% of
issues
people
with-
around me never even wanted her to get married.
But
to
like
me.
you said, Pastor, before you married your wife, she was working.
Yeah, she was working, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good point.
She was working, yeah. She was
I
working.
wouldn't go into a marriage with a man that's not working.
And that is you. You have your own view and opinion.
Yeah, because I have my...
But the risk is higher.
The risk is higher. The risk is higher, Pastor.
That's why they need to balance it. You see, marriage is not a must. marriage is not an automatic ticket to make heaven. But because there's the society where we come from, if you marry, if you are not having a child, it's a taboo. I know of 2 couples that got married and they agreed that they are not going to have a child.
Wow.
Yes. The man went to the hospital, the woman too, so they did what they needed to do, take over this, and they agree
They took their offers out.
that they are not going to get married. That anytime, I mean, they are not going to have a child. Anytime they feel like they go to adopt. So that's why I said we should educate people. We are talking about foundation of domestic violence. Before you go into any marriage at all or any relationship, make sure you know where you are going in your own little way.
Thank you, Pastor. So, Sister Vicky, how do you think we can tackle this financial abuse? You know, this
financial abuse. Yeah.
Because to me, I think that is
a major
is a major reason in domestic abuse in the
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
I think financial abuse is number 1.
Okay.
So how do you think we can tackle this?
Like you said, if the woman is at least, if not working full-time, part-time, and the man working full-time, because, you know, men wants to be in authority. Do you get what I'm saying? So if they are the main breadwinners, what you, the woman, can do is to be supporting, you know, doing part-time. Sometimes the man might be footing all the bills. All he will say is that,
frustrated.
do you get what I'm saying? But
Thank you,
sometimes
Get frustrated.
I know.
Yeah. So to be very honest, if the woman is not working, it puts so much strain and stress on one, the man, and 2, on the marriage.
Because there is no way you expect this man
it's
to be
true.
happy when he's earning like £2,000 and he's using all the money to foot this bill. You know, we can't neglect the fact that this man has his own personal needs.
Yes.
And by the time he goes to work from morning to evening, Monday to Saturday, some people work 7 days in this country. At the end of the day, he still cannot afford £100 to buy something for himself. Don't you think this man will be very frustrated?
The man will be frustrated. So just like what you said, the women, they are there to support.
They are there to support.
And if both of them are really sincere, I know that the God that orchestrated the marriage knows how to bless the marriage.
Yeah.
Because I believe so much in God, is too real to be unreal.
But you know,
Pastor, I'm sorry to say, I know God blesses marriage, but man is not going to fall down from heaven.
That's what I'm saying, that the woman, I'm trying to tell you that the woman ought to work too.
Yeah.
Of course, she needs to work, but I don't want us to draw a kind of a standard that if a woman is not working, she must not get married.
Okay,
I don't know. It could be a view from your own side, but I don't want us to draw a standard. You know, when young couples are coming into marriage, the husband is working, earning good money. The woman should be thinking of, what can I do? How can I get a job to to support this man? That if we are to wait until when the woman gets a job, they might never get married.
But Pastor,
That's
the
my
thing
thinking.
is, I'm sorry to say this, the thing is, we know there are jobs everywhere, don't get me wrong. But the problem that we have as human beings is because, like, look, let me say I'm a graduate. I did marketing. I did business admin. I'm a psychologist. I'm this, I'm that, I'm a doctor. If I don't get a job in my field, I'm not going to work. You know, it's a major issue. It's a major problem in marriages. But the thing is, manna is not going to fall from heaven.
That is it.
If there is something that is out of your line,
that you can do,
I believe that you can still go through it.
Yes, of course. Yes,
and
of course.
still be looking for something in your life.
You are very
But
correct.
most people do just sit down. This kind of job, I'm not going to do it.
You are very
I am a
Very
doctor.
right.
You are very
right.
I am a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm this, I'm that. You know, these are one thing that we really, really need to talk. You know, most people need to bring their ego down.
That is it.
For you to keep your hope.
At least to get something
Stop
doing.
thinking because I'm a graduate, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I cannot work. No, not
I
me.
experienced this some years back.
Yeah.
I lost my job, even though my husband is the main breadwinner. I felt I had to do something to support. So I realized that in my field, I wasn't getting the job. What I did was I just walked into an agency. I said,
care work.
I wanted care work.
That's
it.
The woman saw me, the owner of the agency saw me and said, are you a nurse? I said, no. I said, you look. So I was well
look like a nurse?
because I work in the office. So she thought I was a nurse. And I said, oh, no, I just want to care, that kind of.
At least you
This
get
woman
something.
wasn't convinced. She said, no, I want to give you something challenging more than care work. So she just you know, talk me through. She's got this contract whereby you can be a training coordinator, go to the job centers and, you know, recruit those on benefits, train them, help them to draft their CVs, help them to look for work. I think she got that contract. I don't have experience. I was desperate to get, you know, money coming in.
At least you got something.
You got something.
Exactly.
That's the area she's
that's the area
I was able to do that until I got back on, you know, getting the main job. I was doing that with the agency for 6 months.
Like me and my fiance,
you see,
my partner is a business analyst. So I was like, wow, a business analyst. You know what? I'm going to catch up with you. Even though I'm studying to be an engineer and I'm doing a course on child psychologist as well. So I said to myself, I need to keep up with my school fees. How do I do this? I don't want to do any other job. Because, you know, when I hear him speak to people, to speak to his clients, like, oh, I'm a business analyst. I don't want to introduce myself as a carer. Do you get what I mean? And then the money started. The money was not flowing anymore.
That's where the problem comes.
Then I went online. I already said to myself, I'm not going to do a care job in this country. I'm way more than that. And then when I realized, whenever I look in my bank account and my pockets, I realize the cash is not flowing. No one told me. I went online. I started searching about care work, support work, everything. I started doing my research. Then I started looking for agencies and permanent company workers.
And you eventually got
that will train you, because some people will not take you if you don't have
the
training. So I look for people, for companies that are going to train me. I went in there. Do you have experience? I said, no, I don't, but I once volunteered years back. I was trained, I started working, money started coming.
That is it.
And then I'm happy. He is happy.
So the message for the viewer is that don't wait until you get a job. And what we're trying to say to the viewers today, we're trying, in case of people that are just joining in, what we've been talking about since, we're talking about issues in marriages, women issues, how to tackle different kind of abuse in marriages. And today, the first issues we're talking about today is the financial issue, which is the major one in both any abuse in marriages. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope we've all learned one or two things. We've got all the topics to talk about. We've got emotional abuse, psychological abuse. We've got so many forms of abuse to talk about. You know, we just want to talk about, you know, women dying in silence in abuse. Don't get me wrong, there are also men as well dying in silence. But the most people that speaks up are the women, because most men are shy to come out to say, my wife did this to me.
Oh my God.
You know,
people will laugh at you.
People will laugh at you. You know, they don't want people to mock that. Are you a man?
I will be coming out now since I have this platform.
Are you a man? So I hope everyone has enjoyed us so far today. You know, we'll be back here next week for more interesting topic. Next week we'll be covering a lot of topics like psychological, emotional, you know, how to stop abuse in relationship. How to, you know, all sorts of general abuse, because, you know, I've seen people taking drugs. When you ask them, they say, I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? Oh, this has been going on in my house. My husband is this. My wife is this. My husband is that. How do we stop this? You know what? You know, before people say yes, I do to people, these are people that are once in love with each other. We don't want any more death in marriages. Marriages should be enjoyed. It should be enjoyed. You know, Pastor, you said something earlier that when God created man, he created man in his own image.
Yes.
And he created the woman out of a man's image to support. If God can create man in his own image, he created a woman in a man's image. And you know, that is what we should go with in marriage and enjoy. And not fight and not kill each other. Because I've seen men lost a lot in this country because of marriages.
True.
They've lost everything entirely because of marriages. And I think it's not been fair, to be sincere. It's not been fair on men, it's not been fair on women. And most importantly, it's not fair on the generation we are raising up. Think about the impact. Think about, you know, it's affecting our children a lot. It's affecting our children. You know, how many more children do we want to see to grow up in foster care?
It's true.
You know, most children that grows up in foster care, believe me, most of them don't turn up well. They don't turn up nice. Wow, because we have two adults that could not put their differences aside. Because we have two adults that are very selfish in love and not thinking about the consequences that, you know, that's going to make on those kids.
Yes.
So I believe it's our time we think about marriages before we say yes or do, before we enter marriages. There are so many things to talk about, so many things to tackle. It's not about us anymore. We are grown-ups already. But we need to educate the younger ones. I've seen kids 16, 17 years old. Oh, that's my husband. And I look at them like, what? You are still a baby? You get what I mean? I've seen 15-year-old pushing a buggy. And believe me, it is their children. It is a daughter. It is a son. And I'm like, this is a baby carrying a baby. What do they know? And you know, I believe that most of these things are faulty, like Pastor said, from the foundation. You know, most of what our dad has done to our mothers, and most of what we have seen growing up as kids, and we tend to believe it's normal because our mothers could not say a word and could not live.
People will start talking now.
So we believe that, yeah, this thing is normal. It's normal for my husband to hit me. It's normal for my husband to slap me. No, it is not okay for anyone to raise their hands on you. But because, you know, the older generation, they've made a lot of mistakes. And now we are trying to correct it. But instead of us to correct it, we are also falling back into that mistakes. And the reason why we are here today, you know, is to educate the younger ones so they don't fall into the same mistakes. So which is why I said marriages these days, women issue, financial aspects in marriages has to be tackled. I wouldn't support anybody going into a marriage without both of them working, because the income from the husband will never be enough. It can be enough from the both of you, but once you start raising kids, it will never be enough. Thank you, viewers. We love you. This is Pastor Benga. This is Sister Vicky. My name is Josephine. We will be here again next week. Join us for more interesting topics. God bless you. We love you. Stay tuned.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.